Hello, I'm Emmeline.
And I'm Kindy.
And welcome to Stuff with Moms, a podcast about shows, stories, and enjoying life. So, Kindy, how was your month?
It's been a lot has happened, actually.
Yeah?
I got in an accident, a car accident. Thankfully, I was the only one in the car. Yeah. And they hit me hard enough that the airbags on the driver's side, the whole panel deployed. Yeah, and my seatbelt locked. So and it was totally my fault. When I talk about it, it makes it sound like it wasn't, but it totally was because I was turning left. I didn't make sure it was clear. So, but when the lady hit me, she hit me right behind the rear tire, that panel that's right there.
Yeah.
Before the bumper. So I got hit right there, and I think apparently there's like a sensor there, which then triggered everything to cascade. So it was like $3,000 worth of damage, but you would not be able to tell looking at the outside of it, but it's all on the inside that the damage is because the airbag deployed. So like fixing that and like it was like it would have been $3,000 worth of damage, and then like $1,000 or no, was it $1,000 a week? I can't remember, to rent a car. It's like expensive to rent a car. Or that was 2 weeks. It was $1,000, and then anyway, so it would have been like $4,000, $5,000 in total if we were to just fix the car. So we're like, screw it, let's bag it. So then we just sold it to a guy for $3,000, and then just probably a screaming deal because they'll probably get like $6,000 for it, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Although probably a little bit more because they got to make money off of it. Who knows? I don't care. It's gone. Anyway, so
jeez.
Yeah, it's insane. It's considered totaled. Like
it's amazing what's considered totaled. You're like totaled. Yeah. I imagine a crushed.
Yeah,
in like a ball car.
Yeah, or it rolled multiple times.
And
yeah,
it's all like, squished and ruined and nope. Totaled can be minimal to me. I'm like, it's so weird.
It is so weird. It's so weird. So anyway, and all the sensors that you have now, like it kind of sucks getting new cars because one little ding could be expensive. Anyway, so then we just got a newer, 1 year newer car, which is kind of nice. But we got a 2016 Honda Pilot, and it had like 120,000 miles on it, which I do need to get it checked. So,
okay.
Yeah. So that was nice. And then we're downsizing, which is kind of sucky. So we are going to redo our basement to put an apartment. I think I've talked about this before, but we're moving forward with putting an apartment in our basement. Okay. And so we got to get rid of stuff and move stuff up to the first floor instead of the basement. And so that makes me sad, happy, because
having that space is nice.
It is so nice. It is so nice. But it'll help us out a lot financially and really set us up better. And plus it'll be there for the kids when they need it.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, so we're starting to do that and moving forward. So I have to like move everything up and reorganize my kitchen and reorganize bedrooms and reorganize and get rid of stuff. And I'm sad because I might have to get rid of some tables.
Aww.
Yeah, that I use for sewing and but anyway, oh well. Such is life. How about you? How's school going?
Oh, it's super busy.
Yeah.
I feel like last week I had a test in every one of my classes. So 5 classes, I had 5 tests, and I had a paper due. And it's just like, it is so much. So my respiratory classes, they don't really do homework. I mean, one of them, he kind of does homework, and he's like, this is to offset all the tests, because we read a chapter, and then we test on it. And so it's a test every week. It's so much testing. I'm like, I have never had this many tests in such a short amount of time. I don't know if every program does it this way. The reason they say they do it this way is to kind of like, it's higher stakes, and they're kind of trying to mimic, higher stakes in a hospital, which makes sense, but it's just like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So my brain feels like mush, but at the same time, I'm doing really great. Like, I think it's just the Lord's blessing me. I think that's what it is. It isn't Emmeline. It's all the help I'm getting from Heavenly Father expanding my mind and helping me remember things, and it's just a lot of that. But
I think it's both, because the Lord doesn't give you blessings just because.
Right.
He's like, you're working hard. I'll help you out.
Yes,
which is really
nice. But without
and
his
you're
help,
more
I would be failing.
Yeah, no, I get it. And you're more disciplined. I feel like I was not mature enough to go to college when I was younger.
Yeah, because before I was like, I still want to play all the time.
Right.
I didn't want to study. And now I'm like, I should study. I still don't want to study, but now I know I should. So,
yeah,
I guess I knew I should then too, but I was like, nah.
Well, you probably didn't have direction either. Because I didn't. I'm mostly speaking from experience. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was 20, 17, 19.
Yeah.
Whatever. When I graduated 19, 18, whatever. When I graduated, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, I worked. It's not like we were lazy. We just didn't have direction. I didn't. I was like, eh.
I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Yeah.
Right? Like, now I would have benefited from an accounting degree, but am I going to go to school for that? No.
Well, here I am showing everybody that it is hard. But it was interesting. My brother, my oldest brother, he sent me an article at one point. I don't know if I've talked about this in the past. Maybe I have. If I have, I'm sorry. I'm repeating myself. But he sent me this article about how this person with cystic fibrosis was just like, I didn't really ever have college as a high priority on my list because, I was going to die when I was 25. So why spend more time at school? Why not go out and experience life?
Yeah.
And that was partially my mindset. Like, I was like, it would be good to learn more, but if anything else comes up, I'm going to head in that direction,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You kind of did have an expiration date. Why waste it on
on sitting in a classroom?
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's kind of interesting how when, you're going to die sooner, how it kind of rearranges your priorities. Mm-hmm. So
I guess that answers the question. If you had 1 year to live, what would you do? Have fun.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, accident, huh? That's, yeah.
Yeah, and it's surprising when you get hit what gets injured, because I would have thought I would have had a really bad headache all day.
Whiplash? You didn't get whiplash or?
No, thankfully. No, and I on my leg I just got this really big huge bruise. It broke skin, but that was it. I was fine.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if it wasn't too bad of a crash, but.
Yeah.
Well, good.
It wasn't. The car thankfully suffered way more than I did. But
and that you were alone, that probably took a weight off your mind. You're like, oh, thank goodness nobody else was in here with me.
Yeah, if Emmeline was in there, I don't know what would have happened with her. Like, I know she would have started crying, because who wouldn't at that age? But as far as injuries goes, I just am so grateful, because it opened, because she's on the driver's side.
Oh.
And so it opened right by her car seat. And so if I had a headache, I mean, I don't know, her seatbelt would have probably injured her somehow. But yeah, I just am so grateful. And I'm grateful nobody was behind her. you
To
know,
make it
so
worse,
she
like a pile up.
slammed into
Yeah.
me, and then somebody slammed into her. So just so grateful that it was, and she was like the best person to get in a car accident with. She was so nice. She was so. I got out of
Did
it.
you
I
tell her
pulled over
that?
to the side. Yeah,
You
I
did?
did. I did. I was like, "You're the best person to get in a car accident with. You're so nice." She's like, apparently she had gotten in an accident that was her fault the week before. I was
Oh.
like, "Oh, geez, I'm so sorry." It just was hitting you or something. I don't know, but yeah, she was such a sweetheart about it, and she was taking her kid to school, and I looked over at her. I was like, "You didn't want to go right today, right?" Anyway, but I had pulled off, and I was like, "Are you guys okay? I'm so sorry." And because it was totally my fault. And she's like, "If it would have just been a couple seconds, I would have missed you." It's like, yeah. Like if I would have pulled more into the center lane, she probably would have missed me because it was just right there.
Gotcha.
But anyway, yeah.
Oof.
I mean, I could have you upload pictures so you can see how minimal the damage was, because Matt was like, "I'm having a hard time." Matt thought it was worse, and it wasn't. Like, it was so minuscule that it's amazing that it was considered totaled, because I drove it to a collision repair guy to see how much it would cost to see if it'd be worth it. And he's like, "Yeah, you really shouldn't be driving this car." I was like, "Well,
What?
does
You're like,
seatbelt?"
it's the inside.
Yeah. I mean, the seatbelt locked up, so I mean, I can understand that, but other than that, it's like, well, it fits me.
Nobody else can drive. But
Nobody else can drive this thing, but I can, kind of. But yeah.
So it stayed locked. Huh.
Yeah, it didn't disengage at all. It stayed locked in on impact. So
Well,
yeah, it's crazy.
kept you safe, I guess.
It
So
did.
you walked away from the accident, and that's good.
Yeah, it was good. All right, looks like you've got word of the month.
I do. So this is actually a word I looked up for one of my classes for the paper I wrote last week. So that won't give you a hint at all.
No, well,
because you don't even know what
hopefully.
which class it was for.
Yeah,
but the
that's
word
true.
is Scute, and it's spelled Scute. Scute.
Yeah, because it looks like cute. It's cute. It's cute. But Scute makes sense. Oh my gosh. Scute.
Yep.
Boot, scoot, and boogie. It means to analyze the reports of breathing in and out.
You took that little tidbit of information I gave you and you ran with it.
I did. Well, I know that that's what you're going to school for. It probably has nothing to do with breathing, but
Nope.
I'm going with
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But it was a good attempt. So in my art class, I was looking at a painting of a turtle, and I was describing the parts of the turtle. And on the back, you know how they on the back of their shells they have those sections on their shell? Those are scutes.
Interesting.
They're the bony plates on a tortoise's shell, or the thickened, horny parts on a crocodile or stegosaurus. Those are called scutes.
Scoots. Okay, there you go.
So our question for this month, if you could talk to animals, which animal would you most want to talk to?
I know Matt's would be a cat.
Yeah?
So I don't want to say that, because then we could tell each other what they're saying. Like, he can tell me what they're saying since he knows how to talk to them. So I would probably... You guys, Emmeline gave me time to think about this, and I still came up with nothing. Like my first thought was cats, but that doesn't count because that's what Matt wants to know because he's so fascinated with what they're thinking. Okay, tangent. So Matt had to get his esophagus expanded because apparently when you get older and all your acids go up into your esophagus, it like tons of scar tissue, so it kind of closes up, so you got to get it expanded. He was coming out of anesthesia and I was recording him, but he seemed fine. And so the minute I stopped recording, he comes up with this thing about how cats should have this castle when they die so that they can be well taken care of or something like that. He was just really concerned about cats and that they should have a castle or something. It was hilarious. And I wish I had even written down what he said because now I can't even remember word for word, but it was he loves cats. Oh my gosh, he loves cats.
Awesome.
I think I would like to talk to horses. That's an animal I'd like to talk to.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you?
I was thinking like a sloth. Because
it'd be a really slow conversation.
It would be, or maybe they talk really fast. Who knows?
Yeah.
But because they stay in the same spot for so long, they observe an area for a really long time. So maybe all their observations of the one thing would be really cool to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I got nothing for that.
Why'd you pick a horse?
I don't know. Because they probably have really fun personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, they're big dudes, so it'd be interesting to see like what they think about animals smaller than them, or bigger than them if they come in contact with animals bigger than them. Because unless they're in Africa, they'd have no interaction with anything bigger than them.
Or like
really.
zoos,
I mean, unless they're
circus.
Horse. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then, why do goats calm them down? That I'm really curious about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
What is it about a goat that just makes you at ease?
I think it's more the companionship more than anything, but that's funny.
that could be it. I remember when we were living in Elkridge, I always drove past this pasture. It was very small, but there were about two to three horses like in their individual pens, and then a goat. And so it just would go in between them and just kind of hang out and mill around. Like you'd see it outside of the fences, or you'd see it in with one of the horses, or the next time I'd see it with the other horse. And it was just really entertaining to watch the goat just kind of mill around that area.
It's awesome.
Yeah. What is your product recommendation you'd like to tell our listeners about?
When we first got married and moved to a place where we didn't have like a washing machine available to us, we bought a Whirlpool washing machine and dryer. And the first time that we moved that washing machine, it broke. And I was very disappointed. And I was like, this is stupid. It's brand new, like 2 years old. Anyway, I was kind of upset. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to get one that doesn't break and that's awesome. And so I shopped and looked around and read tons of reviews and all sorts of stuff. And we got a Speed Queen washing machine. And it has been the best large appliance purchase that we've ever made. Like,
really?
It's so good. It works great. It works just as good as the very first day we bought it, and it is now 10 years old.
Oh, dang.
So it's
nice.
It's been awesome. We love that thing. So
yeah,
get a Speed Queen the next time you have to buy a washing machine, listeners, because they're great. Our dryer, we still have our Whirlpool dryer, so that still works great. But
they did that right.
Yeah, they did that one right. But it doesn't have to handle as much weight as the washing machine does.
Yeah, that's true.
What about you? What's your product recommendation for our listeners?
So as everybody knows, I've had issues with my hair. Still do. I still hate it, even though people are like, "Oh, it looks so good." I'm like, "No." Um, and so with the fact that I have caved into having to straighten my hair most of the time now, the heat it really gets to my hair. And one thing that I have switched to is not just spraying my hair or putting hair protectant in it, but also shampooing and conditioning with that in mind. And I've been using OGX for quite some time and I love it. It works really well with my hair. And so I just recently started using OGX Repair and Protect Bond Protein. It's in a pink color because they have multiple different kinds. And so
Pink
and they
bottle.
have it for mostly for damage protection, but it's also for like heat. And oh my gosh, my hair is so much smoother because whatever cutting or dyeing I've done recently, it just looks like it has been haggard, like just like an 80s. I know it's coming back, but I'm not back with the 80s haircut, so I don't want it to look that way. And so using the shampoo and conditioner along with like the hair the heat spray with it, oh, it's made a world of difference and it's so nice. Like my hair is so much softer and it's so nice. Granted, right now I'm not using it as much because I'm just putting my hair up in a ponytail until it gets longer because it drives me crazy. The sides look okay, but the back looks horrendous and I slouch. And so with the combination of a weird haircut look in the back and me slouching, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Give it. So I'm gonna wait until my hair grows longer before I start using it again. But oh, just so smooth and so nice. So I highly recommend OGX Repair and Protect Bond Protein Repair.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, pink bottle. You can get it at Walmart and Amazon and wherever. Yeah,
Cool.
It's so nice. So soft.
Well, now we're going to have our continued main segment of Cystic Fibrosis Part 2.
And now you are gonna tell us a story about what it was like to be pregnant with Clark, since that was he's your second pregnancy, and it was a completely different experience.
It was. Okay. So I kind of
More
told
like
this.
because was the whole pregnancy different than
No.
Lorenzo, or was it just the birthing part that was different?
It was the end. I mean, every pregnancy is different from another, but in health-wise, it was. I have told this story previously, so I am going to be repeating some stuff. It's just I didn't get into too much detail. I'm going to this time.
Don't be eating anything, by the way.
And be warned, I'm going to be talking about some gruesome things. So if you have a weak stomach, be prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skip ahead if you want.
We were laying down for the night, and I'm 8.5 months pregnant. Okay, so it's getting near time to have a baby, and we're laying down for the night, and I coughed. You know, I always when I lay down at night, I get the change in position. I always cough, and then and I coughed and then swallowed it because that's what I always did. Some people are really good. Some people with CF, they spit it out every time, but most of the time I'd just swallow it. But I was like, that consistency felt weird because there's a certain consistency to mucus, especially thick, sticky mucus, because this is prior to Trikafta. So this is back in 2016. 3 years before Trikafta came out. And I was like, that was a weird consistency. Oh, well. And then I coughed again. And so I was like, I'll spit this out and see what it's like. And it was pure blood.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that isn't good. And then I felt the urge to cough some more. And I was like, well, I should go to the sink so I can spit it out and see what it looks like again. So I go in there and I'm coughing and coughing and I'm spitting out stuff and spitting out stuff and it's all blood, all blood. And then I get into like this coughing fit, which I couldn't actually take a breath in. I just kept coughing, coughing, coughing. And I was just out, all my air. And I couldn't breathe in. And
Inhale.
I just, more and more blood's just coming out of me into the sink. And Kyle runs in because he can hear that I haven't stopped coughing for a long time. He comes in and he sees all the stuff in the sink because some's gone down the drain, but some isn't. And he's just seeing it coming out of me. And his face like turned instantly white. Like I saw his face. I remember looking at it and going, I have to breathe in. He can't make it. He can't make it without me. And so I stopped coughing long enough to breathe in. And then I was like, and then started coughing more. And I was like, I think we need to go to the hospital. And Kyle
my
was
gosh.
like,
In between your coughing fits.
yeah. I was like, okay. Man. So, but I couldn't stop coughing. I was like, I'm going to need you to bring me something so I can spit in, like get this blood out. And it isn't like mucus in blood. This is all blood and it's bright red. So it's fresh stuff. It isn't like brown in any way. It's bright red. And so he brings me this giant metal bowl we have. And I'm coughing into it.
Walking around the house to get to the car?
To get down to the car. So we walk downstairs. Kyle's like following along behind me, trying to like carry me-ish. While I'm just like coughing and getting all this blood into this bowl. We get into the car. Now, you guys probably are like, why didn't you call an ambulance, right? We lived 5 minutes away from the hospital. It would have taken longer for the ambulance to come and get me than it would for Kyle to just drive me. So that's what we decided. So we get into the car. We drive over to the hospital. By now, it's kind of abating. I'm not coughing as much as we're driving to the hospital. It's one of those things like the... where you're like, are they going to believe me? But
what?
No, it's like, it's not like, it's like I've been coughing, and now I'm not coughing anymore, and they aren't going to think I'm sick. But, I had a giant bowl full of blood.
Yeah. You're like, this didn't just magically appear. Where's Lorenzo at this point?
So
I imagine
he's still at home, but we had a nephew living with us. So Kyle had gone in and was like, we're going to the hospital. I'll call you later, kind of thing. And he was like, okay. I'll be here with Lorenzo. So they went to bed.
Good.
Lorenzo was already in bed, like down and going to bed. He was probably already asleep. And so he got to the hospital, and by now I'm not coughing anymore. And so I'm just sitting there with this bowl full of blood. I feel bad because Kyle brought a wheelchair to me. I got in the wheelchair. He's wheeling me in this, and I have this bowl full of blood in my lap. And I was like, we're going into like the waiting room, and I don't want people to like see all this blood and get freaked out. And so I'm like, what do I do? And so I like tried to like shield it with my body, but I'm super pregnant, so I can't like lean forward very far.
Oh man.
I was just like, what do I do? It's kind of cold, so I had a coat on, so I kind of like used my jacket. Anyway, I felt so bad. I was being so self-conscious that I should be like, Who
Who
cares?
cares? Yeah.
But I
You're
was.
yeah.
Anyway,
You had your wits about you enough that you're paying attention.
that's good. So that was
Yeah.
good. We get into they got us in there and we're like, we have to get to the doctor like right now. And they're like, and I'm like, no, like right now. And then the nurse who was behind the desk stood up and saw my bowl and was like, okay, come on back.
Yeah.
So they wheeled me in a room. They called my doctor. We put the bowl kind of on the table next to us. And, he comes in, because he was home, I think. I don't know if he was on call or whatever, but they called him in, and it wasn't very long that we waited.
That's
but
good.
he came in and was like, okay, so you're going to have the baby? I'm like, there's that. I've been coughing up blood. And he's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then he went and consulted. He left the room and came back a little bit later. He's like, we've called the life flight. You are going to go directly to the bigger hospital because we're up in a littler town where we were living at the time, Logan. And they wanted to life flight me to my CF doctors in Salt Lake. So I got put on the life flight. They had a specific nurse that came up on the flight who could also catch a baby.
Attend to- Oh, okay.
If
Got
they
it.
needed to. Because my
Okay.
doctor, he was like, I can catch a baby. I can't deal with the bleeding
The F
lungs.
part. Yeah.
So
That needs to be attended
that's
to for
beyond
sure.
me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I told the nurse, I was like, I get air sick. Like, I may be
man.
puking. She's like, okay, so you let me know if you get air sick. I can give you some drugs for that. I was like, okay. And we brought my big bowl of blood.
What?
Yeah. And then
They didn't put it in like, I don't know, a sealed container on a helicopter?
I don't know. I think they did. Like they put a big bag around it or something. I don't remember. Maybe Kyle brought up the big bowl of blood. Or they got rid of it. They dumped it. They measured it. I think no, that's what they did. They measured it and tracked how much was in the bowl and then got rid of it, I guess.
Okay. That makes more sense.
And then Kyle went home and worked things out with Walker and then drove down to Salt Lake.
Okay.
And showed up there later. He called my parents and let them know, and his parents and let them know. And while he was driving down. And, and so
You got transported to the hospital in the helicopter.
Yep.
No puking?
No puking.
Vomit? Oh, good.
But by the end we landed, I was super nauseous.
Coughing. Oh, okay.
Then
Which doesn't help the situation.
nope. And then we get in there. They get me in a room, and there's an anesthesiologist, my CF doctor, like 3 nurses, the birthing doctor, the on-call fellow pulmonology, the...
Like an entourage.
Oh my gosh, Kindy, there were so many people in this room. There was probably about 12 medical personnel in my room.
Okay.
And
That's a lot.
And then my family was there, and Kyle, and so it was my mom and my sisters, Jonica and Kendra, and then I think Tim's wife, Megan. Tim was like, do you want me? Like, I don't care who's in here. There's so many people in it. I don't even remember who was in the room. It was so many people. It was me in this bed, and then I'm surrounded by people. And then they're like, okay, we'll give you the medicines to get this baby, get your body working to get a baby out. Okay. And then we're going to rush you off to operating room. And so.
To open your chest up? Like,
no.
what was the intent? Oh, okay.
No. To go to internal radiology, IR, and they will, see what's going on.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And so then I popped out Clark real fast. I think I pushed for 7 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah, so he popped right out real fast. But those contractions, because they gave me Pitocin, those contractions were intense. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It was just like, this hurts so bad. But my sister Kendra was like massaging my feet, and it felt so good.
Nice. Good job, Kendra.
But yeah, I had contractions for a while, and really intense ones. And then, once it was time to pop Clark out, he came out real fast. And then, they cleaned him all up, and then they gave him to me, and they let me just hold him. And hold him for a long time. Nobody was like, all right, we need to go. Like, nobody at all. The whole time. And they were all kind of standing around, like my doctors and the nurses and stuff. They were all standing around. They were quietly discussing things while I was just holding this baby.
Oh,
and, we got to be with each other. And then I was like, okay, I need to go. And it was like everything went in motion.
Go
like,
time.
They got Clark, they wheeled him out there, and then they wheeled me right away. I was like, bye, family, and everybody.
Yeah.
And then I went into internal radiology, where they went up through kind of my groin area. Okay. And they did an embolization. They figured out that, first they took like x-rays, and they figured out that my pulmonary artery in my lung had opened up and was leaking blood into my lungs, and my lungs were filling full of blood.
How did it open up?
So when you cough, you put stress on your airways.
Okay.
And it kind of weakens everything in there. So it's kind of a two-way street. You're helping your lungs by cleaning them out, but you're
also risking the stress level of them.
Yes, you're kind of wreaking havoc on them as well.
Well, did the pregnancy have anything to do with?
I think so. I think it was just the stress my body was under, ruptured.
Because it's
the stress of being pregnant plus the stress of my weakened lungs anyway just ruptured my pulmonary artery.
Okay. Dang.
And so they did an embolization where they went up through my groin, and they used chemicals to seal up the leak.
Really? That's crazy.
Yes. So kind of cool. I got to watch.
Yeah. You did? You were awake for this?
And
dang.
I hate going under. I'm like, I'll hold still.
Yeah, you don't need to put me under. I got this.
They hate it. They're like, they make me sign so many forms.
Oh, yeah.
They were like rushing anyway, and that would have taken more time. And so I think that they were like, okay, whatever. So
yeah.
They went up and they embolized it. And then I was like, okay. And then they took me to the MICU because my oxygen was low. And
okay. What's the M stand for?
Medical.
Oh, okay.
It's just
like motherhood? No. Okay. Medical ICU.
Medical intensive care unit, where there's a lower patient to nurse ratio. So I had this giant room all to myself with my bed right in the middle, surrounded by a million machines. And they just kind of like monitored me, but because I was in the MICU. Only one person could come visit me at a time.
Oh, man.
And so Kyle was with Clark, but he came and visited with me while, like my sisters and my mom and my dad, and like they were with Clark. And Clark, because he's a newborn, couldn't come to the MICU. So he was just, we were apart.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get the timeline correct.
You're good. Sounds like a lot happened in a short amount of time.
It was a lot. Anyway, I was for a couple of days in there being monitored while Clark was, in the baby unit.
Yeah.
And then,
so you didn't get to hold him again for 2 days.
Yeah.
Right, longer, right?
Yeah, 2 days. And then, what happened was my pulmonary, the first time it didn't, so I started, at first, like, the coughing, it felt like less and
Something
less.
was up? Secure?
No.
Oh.
Less and less blood was coming up. So I was like, okay. And they did it. They fixed it, right?
Yeah.
Getting better. And then it happened again. I started coughing up blood and it started coming out a lot. But this is right after I'd sent Kyle home. He had tests and I wanted him to go and kind of talk to Lorenzo and be there for him. Lorenzo started school that day and he was, without us and wondering if he had a brother. And I mean, I'm sure Kyle talked to him on the phone, but, I was like, you go home, go to class, I'm getting better and everything. And yeah, and then I started coughing up blood again. But it was like right after I sent Kyle out the door. I was like, no, I need to call him. The doctors all rush in and they're like, we need to intubate you this time. Like, you shouldn't be awake while we do this. And that was one of the biggest mistakes of my life, agreeing to that. And I got my second embolization. They brought me back to MICU, and when I was coming, so problem with me with anesthesia is I need a lot more than my body weight accounts for.
Interesting.
They always err on the side of caution because obviously you don't want too much anesthesia. You could sleep somebody to death.
Oh, okay.
So they have to monitor it closely. But while I was awake while the operation was going, which was fine because I was awake the other times. That's not a big deal. But being intubated and being slightly awake hurts a lot.
Yeah.
It hurts really bad. And so I have this in
You're
me,
like,
but I can't, but my body won't respond, but I'm awake and I can feel it. And so I could feel all of that and it was miserable. And they got me in MICU and I'm starting to actually be able to control my body. So I start like thrashing around and they said that I'd like turned into the Hulk. They needed like 5 nurses in there to like restrain me while they took the tube out. They're like, okay, you can't eat and you need to just be in here for a while. And Kyle said, when I'm coming out of anesthesia, I turn into my Grandma Roo because I just say whatever's on my mind. And
oh no!
Anyway, I felt
no filter
after she said, I couldn't eat or anything, and just ice chips. And then I was like, okay. And then I was like, she's left. It's been like 8 minutes. I don't think it had been 8 seconds because I was like, Kyle, sneak me some food. Because then she chimed in, you can't have food. You can only have ice chips. I was like, she's still here? And Kyle's like, it wasn't that long. After you said that. Anyway, because, my eyes are still closed. Because when you're coming out of it, like, not everything works.
Yeah.
Your eyes are just like, I'm not opening yet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know how.
At this point, my doctor was like, I heard your brother is in overseas for the Air Force. I can write a specific note to get him back here, because my brother was like, I want to come see you. It felt like the end, Kindy. It felt like the end of my life right here. And so my family, my sister came, my sister who lives in Illinois came, and my doctor wrote this medical approval to get my brother,
to get your brother back,
from Qatar, and he was able to fly overnight to come visit me at the hospital. And the second embolization took, and I was able to move from the MICU to a regular room. And all my family was there, and I was able to see Clark again. And at this point, I'd been in the hospital for several days. I have a brand new baby. I really want to be with him. I can't. So I was ready to go home. And the doctors all came in and were like, you shouldn't. Your lungs are really bad. You need to stay and have antibiotics and get treatment, and we need to monitor you. And I was like, no, I'm not coughing up blood anymore. I've been in here for a long time already. I just want to go home. I want to be with my new baby. It was Clark's time to go home. They'd had him for 3 days, and they're like, okay, we're going to release him. I'm like, I'm going to go home with him. So I was like, this is it. We're going home together. And everybody, it felt like they sent in everybody they could think of to try and talk me into staying. And I was just, I had made up my mind. I'm going home.
I'm going home.
Going home with my new baby.
Yeah.
So while we were away, Lorenzo had his first day of school and had been to 3 days of school.
Okay.
And we got home and brought home his little brother, and he was so excited that he was he was crying tears of joy. He's like, I prayed for you my whole life, and it was the sweetest thing.
That is so sweet.
I recorded it, and listening back on it, it's so sweet and so precious, but you can hear my breathing. It's loud and bad. I was in complete denial, Kindy. I was so bad.
Yeah.
I couldn't catch a breath. And so we get home, and for me, I'm just I just had a baby. I just had 2 major operations.
It's understandable why I'm so tired and exhausted.
So we get home. Lorenzo gets to be with his brother. I was able to feed Clark and give him all the good stuff that, comes from moms, and breastfeeding and all that good stuff. And just being with him. And then, it's the weekend now. I think, so it happened he was born on Wednesday, and we stayed at the hospital. It was 2 days. We had stayed at the hospital because we came home. No, we came home Friday or Saturday. It was Saturday. Came home on Saturday, so it would have been 3 days. And the next day, Kyle went to church, and I stayed home with Clark. And then Kyle had a meeting later that night. And it was while Kyle was at the meeting, luckily my mom was there with us. But Kyle was at this meeting, and I started coughing up blood again. And it was worse than the first time. I couldn't, it was so much blood.
The second time.
Or the second time. It was so much blood. And I was like, it's back. And so my mom saw what was happening. She gets in the car, drives to the church, runs in the building in the middle of this meeting, which isn't my mom at all. She would die to like not interrupt anything. But she runs in the middle of this meeting while it's going, runs in the doors and is like, I need Kyle Jardine, like shouts in the middle of somebody talking.
Yeah.
And Kyle like jumps up and they run out. I'm in the car waiting and we all drive to the hospital, and we had called up. No, we drove back to the house, left my mom there with Clark and Lorenzo, and then we drove down to Salt Lake.
To Salt Lake?
To Salt Lake.
Oh my gosh, Emmeline. Oh. I mean, it's great that you made it.
Yep.
That like you weren't that bad off, but oh my gosh.
Well,
girl.
it did, like, it was kind of like I got all the blood out, and now I'm just waiting as my lungs fill back up with blood.
Yeah, to then cough it all back up again.
Cough it all back up.
Like,
I'd gotten it all out for that go round. Anyway, so we get there where they go into the ER, and because I'm not currently coughing up blood, they put me in a room, but I sat in that room. It felt like forever.
Oh,
I was in the ER just sitting with this bowl full of blood off to the side. My dad and my sister come. And Kyle is there, and we're all just kind of like, but it's the evening time. They don't have anybody in the IR. They all left for the day. And so we're waiting around for somebody to show up so that we
to get your lungs fixed.
Get my lungs fixed. It was a lot of waiting. I felt like we were in there forever. But they finally get me back up to the MICU, and they take me into the IR, and I got my third embolization. But that one actually, like, it worked. And I was able to, but this time the doctors were like, you need to stay. We need to monitor you. And I was like, you're right, I'll stay.
I learned the hard way.
And so for, the next 2 weeks, Clark stayed with my in-laws, and they were able to take care of him, which was wonderful. While all my siblings were in town, so they went and visited. They came and visited me a lot, and then they went and visited Clark and gave him lots of love. And because Kyle was with me the whole time. And from Kyle's perspective and my family's perspective, like, this was it. This was the last time that, like, I was gonna die, and this was their last time seeing me, which is why they all made the effort to come.
Yeah.
My lungs didn't really ever recover after that, even though, like, we got the pulmonary artery fixed. They just were really bad off. I lost the lower left lobe of my lungs. Like, it was out of commission.
It's done for.
Yeah.
Was that the one that the embolism happened, or was it your upper?
Where the rupture was up high in my left lung.
Okay.
And anyway,
I wonder if that's where all the blood sat longer
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything about anything.
Probably leaked there first, but
who knows?
But yeah.
Seems like it's the wrong side, but your body does weird things. So,
but yeah, I never recovered that lobe. And actually, my parents were talking about, like, maybe we'll give her one of our lungs, and
oh wow,
like, they were all sorts of stuff. The doctors came in, and I'd talked about this before. One doctor, the transplant doctor, came in and was like, you need new lungs. You need a lung transplant. Like, should we put you on a list? And kind of scared me at a time where I was very intense and worried about my life anyway.
Especially when you were starting to feel like this was it and your family's all showing up because to them, this is it.
Yeah, it was.
When I came to visit, was that your first? That was your second time in the
Yes.
hospital, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was when
That's
I'd
what I
come
thought.
back. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had more visitors because I was there longer. I kind of called and was like, hey, just reaching out. I'm in the hospital. I just had a baby. And I don't know what all I told you, but I was like, if you
It
want to
wasn't
come
any of
visit,
that.
that would be really great.
Yeah. I was like, heck yeah, I'm coming. And yeah, I don't think I fully understood the gravity of the situation until, well, even because I rode up with your mom, and so she was telling me, I was like, holy crap. But at no point I don't think that I thought, this is it. I mean, I think your mom was trying to portray that, but I don't know. Like I said, reality of life doesn't hit me until after things have happened, which is a good and bad thing.
It is. It can be a very good and bad thing.
I had a friend that was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I think because of how I behaved after her telling me, I think I did something not above board in her eyes that we weren't friends after that.
Oh,
But because I think I just I don't know what it is. I just don't understand the severity of it unless I've gone through it, or I don't know. Anyway, so because I do remember, like, we were talking about it. I don't remember. I think I got teary-eyed. Like, just listening to you tell it again, like I get all sad and emotional, but I don't think I fully understood the depth of, what was happening, and I don't think you told me that you felt like that was it until later.
yeah. I didn't want to
So,
scare you.
yeah. Understandably. Who knows if I even would. I mean, I probably would have started crying. I love you so much, don't die. Something, I don't know. But
Oh. But yeah, it was pretty
oh
intense
man.
there for everybody, and not just
Yeah.
me. But I was just like, Kyle, I can't do this without me. I have to live.
Yeah. That's impressive that you took one look at him and you're like, I have to get it together. And you're the one like just puking up blood and you're like, okay, I
Yeah.
gotta be the sane one than this. So the first time you were in the hospital, the 3 days where you were by yourself, completely by yourself,
I wasn't.
what was it about? Well, I mean, you only had one visitor when
Yeah.
you were in the MICU. So what was it about that particular situation that made you feel like this was it? Was it just that they couldn't keep your lungs sealed, or was it just
Well,
the
it's just
feeling
like
of
for
the
me, it was
drain
like
and
it was a
exhaustion?
lot all at once.
Yeah.
The having a baby and then coughing up blood. I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I made the connection like this isn't.
This might be.
It was when I was coughing up blood that I was like, this might be it. But I saw
Mhm.
Kyle and I was like, this can't be it. I have to make it for him. um,
Yeah.
it's when I started coughing up blood that I knew it was the end, or
Yeah.
could possibly be the end. And I was like, no, it's not the end. I'll not
I'm
let
not
it
going
be.
down this. Yeah, I'm not going down this way or without a fight.
So,
Oh man.
but
So after, because I remember you even had, um, you had to have air. You had to have oxygen, not air.
yes. So
Everybody has a.
after that, my lungs didn't really recover. I was then on oxygen 24/7. Like I had to be on oxygen. They got me this giant pump that we had in our house and like
Huge and super long
super long
oxygen
tube. Yeah.
hose.
It's so
Yeah,
I could
tube.
get anywhere in the house and still be attached.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then like we didn't really go anywhere because I didn't have a portable oxygen tank. If we did go somewhere, I got wore out really fast. Like just like walking around wore me out. Like
Yeah.
my lungs were bad after that. And for a while, I didn't do treatments because when I started them up again, I started coughing up blood. And any sign of blood at that point just scared me to
Kind
death.
of reinforced. Yeah.
I was just like, blood again. Like, no. And so, like, for a while there, I like barely coughed because
Dang.
I was afraid I was going to rupture that embolism and my pulmonary like it would be
Start
the
over.
fourth time, you know.
Yeah.
And so I didn't do treatments for a long time. Like I'd do breathing stuff, but I wouldn't cough.
Yeah.
And I'd take all my medicines, but I wouldn't cough.
Yeah.
I'd do a vest a little bit, but I wouldn't cough. Like I was like, I'm not going to cough.
Yeah.
And if I did cough, I'd be like, just right in my
a little bit,
right here, like
yeah.
coughs, not get down in cough. And because I wasn't coughing, my lungs were just getting worse.
Yeah.
And I just declined. My lungs just declined and declined and declined for the next 3 years.
Dang. So at what point did it switch?
When I got trachefta. I mean, I did start, like, after a year, I was like, it's been a year. I haven't seen blood for, like, 8 months. I'll start doing treatments, and I'll start coughing a little bit more. And so I do it.
You kind of eased back into it. Oh, that's so crazy.
But it was really hard to feel comfortable doing what I should do again.
Yeah. Which is so ironic because it's the one thing that like helps you to be healthy, and but you couldn't do it and were afraid to, which makes sense.
I was actually watching a show a couple years after. I don't remember what happened. Somebody got stabbed or something. Mm-hmm. And they do that thing sometimes where the actors will like cough up blood.
Oh, yeah.
And I had like PTSD, Kindy. It was bad. I was like, I can't
watch this.
I like freaked out, and I like it was weird. I didn't know that I could. Anyway,
your body kind of shut down on you.
Well, that's good. I did. I kind of shut down, and I was like, I had like trauma and stuff, and so now I can't. I can see that, and I'm okay, which is fine. But it took a while. Yeah. I was like, I didn't realize that would affect me, but it did, and and it's just fake. But
I mean, but you've experienced it in real life, so it might be fake on the movie, but it triggers that memory for you, and that's
it was
the moment. I mean, that's the traumatizing moment of you're like, this is it. You like your brain went there. This is it, and then you're like, okay, it can't be it because that man needs me. Which is good. I'm glad you saw his paling face. Good job, Kyle, for shocking her out of
death.
Out of death. Yeah.
So my
forcing
lungs,
you to breathe.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
But then, the trikafta came along, that miracle drug that kind of just changed my lung function. Yeah. And I've been great ever since. So it's been a miracle and a blessing, and I've had these experiences that will now, as a future respiratory therapist, help me to help others. And it's kind of good insight to have.
That is very good insight. Is your lower left lobe still a hot mess, or
no?
Has it kind of recovered a little bit?
It's recovered. So
nice. Oh, good. Dang. Well, hearing the story and seeing you during that time, at no point did I ever think, and I wish I had paid more attention, but I didn't see any like, because you hearing you talk about it, I can hear how hard mentally, emotionally, and physically that was for you. But you held it together very well, because anytime I came to visit, there was none of that present in your demeanor. So either I'm a terrible friend or you're just
No.
really high spirits and just stronger than you think you are.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah,
There were times
but
there that I was like, this is miserable.
yeah, well, yeah,
But
especially having a newborn too. Like that would have just, I don't know. I would have been crying every day. I've been like, this is so hard. I can't breathe. I can't. I don't know. Sleep. I'm tired. Life's hard. Just, yeah. I mean, I would have cried right along with you, but
it takes me back to, what episode was that? Like our 4th episode where I talked about my awful, no good, very bad day. That was when my lungs were failing, when Clark had his adventure day.
yeah. Yeah. Yep, and you're trying to chase after your kid and you can't breathe, and then the lady with the dog freaks out on you. It's like, okay, you can't see that I'm trying to gasp for breath. And it's not like her dog, because I was actually thinking about that the other day. Was her dog even on a leash?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. Well,
just
a
mine
tiny
weren't.
dog. She could pick it up.
My dogs were the loosey gooseys.
Loosey goosey's misbehaved.
Ugh.
Such big dogs, though. Well, I mean, not. Why can I not think of her name all of a sudden?
Cassie.
Yeah. How's she doing? She's still kicking around?
She is.
Good.
18-year-old and going forever. She's the Energizer Bunny of dogs.
That's amazing. All right. Before we wrap up, CF, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you want us to know?
Well, I think it would be interesting to at some point, like, go over what my parents, their experience was. Maybe we'll get an interview with them or something, and just like maybe some tips and tricks they have of staying in the hospital and being an advocate for yourself. Maybe we'll do that on a future episode.
Okay. Next episode, we're going to talk about Down syndrome and what it's like to be a parent of a child with Down syndrome, because Emmeline Jr. is not talking right now. So she gibbers. I mean, we could have her on here if she'd actually gibber at us, but not yet.
Well, we would love to hear from you. We post a question on our Facebook page along with pictures from the episode if you want to check those out. You can reach out to us there on Facebook or our email, and there are links to both of those on our website. And they're all listed in the show notes.
Before I do my spiel, I did want to say I'm so sorry about the wrong book reference. Last time we talked about books we're reading, and I said the wrong title. So they're actually doing a movie about it, and I wrote it down somewhere, and now I'm not even going to say it because I don't have my notes.
Oh, I kept, I wrote it right in our, yep, I wrote it right.
You did, but I said it wrong in our, so I just wanted to update people on that. My bad. And
I have a correction too.
Oh, okay. I guess, okay, go.
We both had corrections. So one of our listeners reached out to me and said that the actor guy, now I don't remember his name. The guy with CF, dang it.
Yeah. Anton Yelchin.
Yes. He didn't actually die of CF complications. He was squished by a car.
Oh, that's right. The Star
Trek guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the engineer.
So,
that's sad.
It is sad, but Thanks for that correction. Sorry I said it wrong.
Yes. No, you're good. And then I've got another one where the reason I found out why I get a text before for the bus route for Emmeline, it's because so crazy. There's so many adjustments during the summer that they don't have a final list of who and where they're picking kids up until a couple days before school starts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That would drive me crazy. I'd
Oh,
be like,
yeah.
no, this is the
This
cutoff.
needs to be when I know where my route is.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
yeah.
But you
Anyway.
do have people moving in at last minute, so.
Yeah. There's just, and they don't do tests apparently until later, like, because people are gone and they're trying to coordinate, testing. Because Emmeline had to get tested. I don't know why they do it. It's like, clearly you can tell she's got cystic fibrosis. Not cystic fibrosis. Sorry. Down syndrome. Clearly you can tell she has cystic fibrosis, but doesn't. It's called Down syndrome. So, yeah. Anyway, they're like, we know she's not going to pass, but she has to take the test anyway. It's like, okay, whatever. Anyway, I'm sure there's some government funding they get when they test kids and what have you and whatnot.
Well, they have to have it
Like that,
officially in the books, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. Which I get. Anyway, so help us grow by telling others about us. Share something you learned, like how me and Emmeline can't remember anything, even when we write things down. We would like to thank Red Productions for the music, Jonica for the logo, and to our listeners, we really are grateful that you're here. Emmeline and I would probably keep doing this, but it wouldn't be as much fun without our listener interaction. So we appreciate ya.
Toodle pip.
I love that. Okay. So as I said before, I'm trying to clean out our basement, and with that, I'm getting rid of I don't know if you ever remember my jewelry collection thing.
Yes.
My tackle box of jewelry. So I'm getting rid of that, but before I figured I'd let Anders pull out whatever he wanted. And I don't know why, but what he picked was so bothersome to me. I was like, he wanted the chains that were in there. So, you can make whatever with those. I don't know why. It's like, I'm getting rid of this. Why does it matter to me that they need to stay with the bead thing? I don't know why. Anyway, side note. Anyway, that's not the funny part. That's the crazy part. My neurosis? I don't know. Anyway, so he has these chains and he wants a glass jar, because he's seen on YouTube, you know how they have a chain in a container, and if you start the chain, it ends up jumping out instead of just
the
flowing through. Yeah.
The gravity beads or whatever they're called. I know what you're talking about.
And I knew it wouldn't work because it's not the right weight, or the glass jar is too deep, or, there's too many factors that I just knew it wouldn't work. But I did it anyway. I'm throwing it up to get it to go, and it's not going. Plus, he's got chains all tied. It's a necklace. There's no weight to it whatsoever, and it's not long enough to catch it. And anyway, so he's like, "No, Mom. You gotta flick it. You gotta flick your wrist." And he just kept telling me, I was like, here, you do it, because I'm not doing it right. And I'm telling you, I tried to tell him multiple times, it's not going to work, because I don't know why, but it's not going to work. He just didn't believe me. So he's like sitting there trying to flick it. He's flicking his wrist up and throwing it, and it gets all like tangled up. And anyway, so he still has them. He took them to school with. He was giving me like this cheeky look at me this morning. I'm like, he's up to something. He just kept looking at me like, where are her eyes? And so I finally looked down at his hand, and he's holding all of the chains in his hand. I was like, are you taking those to school with you? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, when you get to school, put it in your backpack. He's like, okay. That kid, he does the weirdest things. But
That's awesome.
He's my kid, so of course he would.
All right.